my concern is that, okay, if there's not a cover up and you truly don't know where to look to search next, that might not be as illegal as covering stuff up, but it sure as hell is more scary having you in charge and not knowing where to look when a true crime fan in Australia and a justice non-profit organisation in America can find this out, have found this out, have done the work, have done the digging, have spoken to the people, have worked out what is scuttlebutt, as they say in Texas, and what is true. Karen, over to you.
Okay, so we're talking about now the air search that was done supposedly over, 9,000 acres of land.
Yeah, 2,000 acres on foot, 8,000 by air.
Okay, so there was a lot of people saying that they've never seen this. Now they're going back and they're trying to think, if they've seen a search go on. And whenever you're in a small town like that, you're going to see, people out there.
Increased activity.
And crazy activity. Because, it's too small of a town. And all these people out there, like I've even talked to some of the people out there that live near 267, and they have no idea what I'm even talking about, because they've never seen anybody really do an active search. There may have been somebody, the first day going out and just walking in the woods at a very slow pace, just to say that, hey, we did something. But as far as the search itself, I think that it was bogus, and I don't really think they put a lot of effort into it.
No, it doesn't appear so, not from what people are saying. They certainly would have noticed increased land and air activity, so cadaver dogs, search dogs, the whole 9 yards. And people either didn't see that at the time, or because of the KLTV interview, which has backfired, people are now thinking back and going, no, I don't recall that happening either. So we have a concern about that, because she could have been found. You might have been able to. It's hard. That's the hardest part for me. Okay, so now we have Tori, Lauren's mother, on the line. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm okay. So just talking about the search that was supposed to have happened, I don't know, January 11th, I believe, the next day, possibly the next couple of days. So I just wanted to see what you had to say about that.
Well, let's start from the 10th, the day she ended up missing after the 911 call. And I think that Karen has actually addressed this before, but they were actually looking for the wrong person that whole night until early in the next morning, when they were informed that they were not looking for a Laura Singletary, but in fact a Lauren Thompson.
I heard that, yeah.
Which is on Facebook as Lauren Colvin Thompson, because also we have 2 Lauren Thompsons in our family. But addressing the fact that I keep hearing how the Panola County is staying in touch with the family. I just want to be perfectly clear. First of all, I'm very excited to be able to have a voice so that people can hear firsthand exactly what is and what is not being done. I'm not trying to bash anybody. I'm not trying to point fingers. This is not about Kevin Lake or Panola County. This is about my daughter.
Yeah, it's
I
about
need
something
some
bigger.
answers. I mean, we need answers. We need something. We need to find something out. And we have asked specifically 5 times, and I have recontacted the search team, and the ECU search team would not go in without the police or the Panola County Sheriff's Department agreeing to let them come in. And I've reached out to them a couple of times because I thought maybe if I went back to them and told them, hey, we're not getting any cooperation with the Panola County Police, maybe they might reconsider. And again, they asked me to go back to Panola County Police and ask the Panola County Police if they have reconsidered. The 5th time that I had done that and spoke with Mr. Lake, he got very agitated with me, very agitated, and just said, well, Ms. Colvin, just where do you want us to search? You know, we've searched so many acres, and, you know, where else would you like for us to search? And my comment was, well, anywhere and everywhere. And my thought was more eyes, more new people, more different dogs, because I find it hard to believe that a dog can go out when someone has a shoe on the ground or a footprint on the ground and not pick up a scent. That just does not add up for me.
Right.
And of course, as the family, we have many questions, and I can probably count on one hand how many times they've reached out to me. And for a while, I was reaching out to them until I started getting uncomfortable with the way things were going, especially when he got agitated with me after asking for the 5th time to have other search teams come in.
Yeah, it doesn't really make you feel comfortable in contacting them again if they
No, it
don't
doesn't.
remain in a professional manner, if they kind of crack. So,
No.
like I said, this isn't specifically about bashing one person or several people. It's about answering questions that
Exactly.
are odd.
And I wanted to make
or-
sure everybody understood that.
Yeah, perfectly. That's why we have you here, and that's what this platform is for. It's so that people like yourself can get this out firsthand, rather than from a news report which has not changed since January 10th. The information is still the same, and I don't understand why that is. Okay, so we also there was a few question marks over the Texas Rangers and their involvement in this. Tori, did you wanted to talk about that, didn't you?
Yes. Early in, when we started feeling like things were not going the way we thought that they should go, and of course we're not professionals, we've never had to ever deal with anything like this before. We suspected that things were not right, so we called the Texas Ranger over to speak with him privately. And he did tell us that he had to go back and talk with the Panola County Police and tell them that we spoke, which kind of made us not feel very comfortable about being able to speak with him in private. But the thing that I was concerned about was that I believe this is probably his first job as a ranger, and it concerns me that it could go both ways. He could really be on fire, and he could really be looking into the things that we mentioned that we were concerned about, or maybe he didn't really take us serious. I felt like he really didn't take us serious. That what we mentioned was just kind of like, oh, well, they're doing a great job. They've used a lot of resources. And yes, if they did use the resources, they did use a lot of resources. But at this point, what would it hurt for them to go in with new search parties? And there's been some say about the landowners not wanting people in. Well, maybe they do and maybe they don't, but we're talking about a missing person. And if their daughter was missing, wouldn't they want someone to open their land to be able to search for their daughter?
Absolutely, they would.
I have 3 young children that are asking for their mom, daily. And I don't have an answer for them because I'm not getting any answers. And I just don't know where to go from here.
No. Karen, your thoughts on it?
I don't know what I would do in that situation. And I guess that's just why I feel that this needs to get out to the public, because of the problem that it could be for other people that live in that community as well. It's going to happen again if they don't control it. But, we're speaking of a person who is missing and has been missing, and she was in distress in the 911 call. I mean, you can clearly tell she's running in the woods, and somebody is after her from, what she was saying. I mean, somebody's not going to just go running in the woods and call 911 and just say, hey, these people are chasing me. And then, you hear
Yeah, it's really hard.
It baffles me because it's like, this should have been taken really serious. I don't care about her past, her record, or anything. I don't care about that. And they shouldn't have even taken that into account in all of this, like her past. How does that help her right now?
One of the things that concerns me is they keep saying they haven't released the 911 calls for the family's sake. Well, no one has asked us if we would like those released. I want anything released that will help find my daughter. I mean, we're just reaching for answers. And if it will help find my daughter, then by all means, release the 911 calls and any other information that might help.
I was talking to an agent, and they, he brought that up too about releasing that 911 call, and I was like, well, yeah, they haven't. They're sealing it. They're not letting the family have it. They're not letting anybody listen to it. And he's like, what? He goes, I've never heard of this. Because normally they would release it, just to jog anybody's memory. Because, or like, maybe she was saying some landmarks that she saw that could trigger something with somebody who owns the land out there, and be like, oh, well, this is probably where she was because it sounds familiar. And I mean, in that aspect of it, that's how it could help this case.
And that's highly questionable, as to why they haven't. Is it because she names the people she's with on the voice call? What is it? What is stopping them? If there's no foul play, and we hear this over and over and over, then what is stopping you from releasing it to the public? Because we see it all the time that, there's no leads, and then the police will put something out, and what someone thought was insignificant 5 months ago suddenly clicks. And
right.
Then you've got your answers. So, addressing not living in Penola County, the first thing I thought is, I didn't realise today we were having a geography lesson. What does it matter where we live? This is a missing person. We care about people, regardless of where they live, what colour they are, what sex they are. I don't care. It doesn't matter that I don't live in Penola County or anyone else who's, actually finding answers out on this case. It was kind of a careless thing, and you kind of sort of made it about yourself and the community.
And somebody contacted me yesterday about those areas, the properties over there off of 267 and 1794. Whenever he said that none of them denied the sheriff or his or the deputies or anybody out there access to that property. He said that came from just the sheriff's department, and he goes, and I don't understand why. So he admitted that none of them had a problem with it. And so he was even telling me he was like, we'll work with you, if you need help with all of this, if we need to go out there and search, let's search.
I think a couple of people on properties around the place have said the same thing. They've no one came, or well, some of them have said nobody came to ask us at all.
Right. Yeah. So why is he saying this? I'm really not understanding why he's lying about all of this. And again, this isn't an attack. This is what we're seeing. We're just stating facts right now.
Like, citizens are saying one thing, and he's saying another, and just keep bringing it back to him. So
Right.
we would like the answers, please. Why are your citizens telling us that they don't have a problem with people searching, or they weren't asked at all?
Well, those areas, that's a lot of land to cover. And, just on foot searches, I don't think they went 2,000 acres, to be honest with you.
No.
They may have drove by them, I don't know. I don't think they got out of their vehicle.
But yeah, getting into places where cars can't reach. Did they go there?
Nah.
Yes, I was told several times that the conditions were really bad and that they couldn't search a lot of places.
It's always the weather.
Yeah, that totally contradicts what he was saying.
Yeah, is it the conditions, or is it that you don't know where to search, or is it that it's an open investigation and I can't say, or is it something else? Okay, so that's about it for today, but Tori's going to sign us out with some something. We've been going so long. Hang on.
I would just really like to thank Karen for all of the dedicated work that she's done. As far as what I've been told and the things that have been connected to the case, she has gone beyond what anybody else has done. And I really appreciate all that she's put into this. And I'm praying daily that we find a connected clue that opens this light up and can finally get answers.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Thank you for saying that. Thank you. I'm just glad I can help. I really am. I hope we'll find her, or we'll find out what happened.
And I'm so glad that Karen and I
Absolutely.
met, because I think, without her I wouldn't have, we wouldn't be where we are right now, which I think is a better place
I
than
agree.
a month ago for everyone, I think.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, thank you for coming in, guys. Obviously we need to keep this up, and Karen and I promise that we will keep going. We'll keep going, keep updating, keep everything out there that we can.
And thank you for giving me a voice as the parent. It's nice to be able to say what's really happening and what's not happening.
Yeah, it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. I also independently need to put out there that I never said that Equisearch were turned away. What I had put up, and what I'll put up again, is that Jeff Stewart from the Cajun Navy said that they offered to go in with dogs, search and rescue, cadaver dogs, etc., and were turned down with no explanation. That's what I'm making clear that I put out there. Just in case you weren't aware, we do have the GoFundMe campaign running to help with the expenses searching for Lauren. The link is on here. I'll put a clickable link in the video when it goes up. If you are able to donate, ask that you go over there to do that. That would be great. If you can't, that's fine too. If you could please share the campaign and send prayers, that would be also greatly appreciated. I've been going with the Miss Murder channel almost 5 months now, and I continue to keep going. If you're able to help support the channel and keep it going, you can go to many places. You can go to PayPal, information's on the screen. Streamlabs.com/Miss Murder Australia, and also Patreon, which is a really great one to get merch rewards in return for your support.